There were a few handheld versions of the excellent mid-90s arcade series Magical Drop. Towards the end of 1999, the WonderSwan would have one that was pretty close in terms of playability, but didn't quite have the graphical charm down, being a grayscale system. Nothing you could do about that, of course, and the elongated screen dimensions of that console did actually help the gameplay somewhat. Towards the end of 2000, the original arcade game from 1995 would get a super playable but kind of cramped rendition on the Game Boy Color. Don't know why those borders had to be so big on that one, but still, it was a ton of fun. Honestly, this is just one of those solid concepts that, provided you get the speedy actions down, just works. It moves so quickly and you get so attuned with your thought patterns and hand-eye coordination that you won't have much attention left to marvel over the visuals anyway. We'd even see a very similar but not actually linked game late on in the Game Boy library called Money Idol Exchanger, which used the basic concept but adapted it slightly with this upgrade mechanic. If you combined 5 coins with a 1 on, rather than eliminating, they'd turn into a 5, which in turn made a 10, a 50, a 100, and finally a 500. On a slightly disappointing aside, Data East saw that this game was so similar to Magical Drop that they sued the developers Face, who, being much smaller than their prosecutors, sadly went bankrupt as a result. But that's another story. Out of all of these handheld console versions, my personal favorite has to be the Neo Geo Pocket one. The graphics do exactly what you need them to in quite a stylish manner. Colors are vibrant and bold, which allows the player to much more keenly use their peripheral vision, paramount in a fast-paced game like this. It's a fairly simple falling block puzzle action affair, but let's go into some of its nuances. You can gather towards you any drops of the same color and then fire them back at the encroaching board. If any 3 or more drops of like colors then are touching in a vertical line, they'll disappear, taking any same drops horizontally with them too. Everything else falls back upwards, and clearing chains are easily created this way. Matching 3 gives you 8 points, 4 gives 10, 5 gives 12, and so on. You have a target number of drops to clear out to reach, and if you manage it before your opponent, you win the round. Clearing all the drops from the screen gives you a bit of a bonus too, and you can choose whether each game is best of 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 on the menu screen if you'd like. Controls are really simple. You move left and right within the confines of the walls, pressing one button to catch all the drops of the same color in whatever column you're in, and then fire them out using the other button. You can configure which way round the catch/release is on the menu. It's a good idea to suck up as many of the same colors as you can from whichever columns they're available on by using the same button before releasing with the other one. There are other drops too than just the normal ones. Solid ones can be matched with their same color normal ones and will clear everything of that color from the playfield. Ice drops will sit on the board until they're touched by a matching trio or more, upon which it and any other ice drops will transform into that color and clear away if they can. Crystal drops are the wild cards that can match with any other color. Should you manage to clear these away, different things will happen depending on what color you've done it with, relating to the suits in a tarot deck. Red gives sword magic, which is fire, blue gives cups, which is water, yellow is star magic, and green is staff magic, relating to wind. You might even find these bubbles, which don't really do anything other than get in the way, but you can pick them up to get rid of them. Most often you'll be playing through the story mode, which is quite extensive considering the game. There are 5 difficulty levels from super easy through to super hard, and lots of different characters to play as. The lower 2 difficulty levels gives you some encouragement to try the harder ones when you beat them, but the other 3 will show you your particular character's ending, and even unlock some new ones on the hardest 2 levels. As is the recurring theme of the game, the characters are all based on a different card from the tarot deck. You can play as Fool, Magician, High Priestess, Hierophant, Death, Cutie, who is called Lovers in the Japanese version, Justice, and Chariot, and can later unlock Hanged Man, Empress, and Fortune. Whom you choose does slightly alter the type of drops and the pattern in which they fall onto your opponent's screen, but mainly you want to play as them all to see the delightful interactions between the characters in the cutscenes before and after each round. These are, well, let's be honest, not that well translated, but that merely adds to the sheer charm, I think. Each character has their own mini story, and it's worth playing on at least medium difficulty in order to get their unique endings at the end of the game. Other than story mode, you can play against a friend in friend challenge mode, which is the only time you can see the opponent's board, but this requires another Neo Geo, not to mention an actual human friend, wherever you get one of those from. There aren't any on eBay last I looked. As well as that, there's a rather addictive continuous mode called Self-Challenge, whereby the game continues until the screen fills up, and you can earn many different ranks from Flunky, right at the bottom, all the way through to Magical, if you manage to get right up to level 99 and score tons of points along the way. It's basically the same gameplay as the Versus mode, except here there are no walls, with your movements cycling around. Go off the left and you'll appear on the right. Every handheld console, as I say so often, needs a darn solid block puzzler like this, whether that be Tetris, Puyo Puyo, the earlier Neo Geo title Puzzle Link, whatever it is. They're just a perfect fit. Quick to learn, addictive, play for 5 minutes or 5 hours, it doesn't matter. They don't demand all that much from the consoles they're on, but if done right, they deliver so much. This is right up there, it has to be said.